I'm just gonna rewind. Give me a second.
Well, we gotta rewind. That was the dumbest joke.
You're fired. Dude, we talked about it. Like, controversial stuff sells. And, like, that's just, like, the reality. And that's why so many people are controversial on the internet. And what's funny is, like, the more you hate on it, the more it just feeds into it.
This is going viral. I did a trick I've never done before. Like, that's just not gonna happen unless I did a trick no one's ever done before, and it's like the wildest looking thing. I was just like, all right, we're doing it. It's the first day of school. We gotta look really stupid, like, because I was building this YouTube channel. I was having children. I put my head down grinding. I was not eating healthy. I'd wake up at 3 in the morning, and I would like be so exhausted. The only thing that would keep me awake is eating Pop-Tarts and pretzels and like anything I could find to like try to stay awake. Welcome to the Buckhouse Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Johnathan Buckhouse. With me is my brother, Benjamin Buckhouse, and we host the Buckhouse Podcast. This is where we get together once a week and we talk all things us. Last week, we started a book club, I guess. Essentially, we want to read because it's good for you. It's good to learn things, everything like that. So we started reading the 10X Rule by Grant Cardone. That's our first book we got into. So we'll get into that later in this podcast. But overall, we just get together, catch up, get motivated, all kinds of stuff. We're just trying to be the best versions of ourselves, and we just have great conversations. And bro, how was your week? How's the book going? How's life? What's up with you?
The book is good. I got it somewhat recently, so I'm only in. I read through the introduction in chapter 1, and I am excited for the book. And it's got a really good concept of like just everything you want to do, just 10 times it. So if you want to make $100,000 a year, make your goal to be making $1 million a year. Like, right, make your goals big, but also put your effort in 10 times as much. So if you think it's going to take this amount of effort to get there, gotta do 10 times as much as that. And it already answered what I thought could be kind of like a problem, or it didn't necessarily answer, but it talked about like, you know, the some people may be afraid of making goals that big, being overly ambitious, and it's already talked about how like that's not the right mindset going into this. So I'm excited to read the rest of the book. I really am.
Yeah, I like motivating books, or books that are like go more, but also like when I look at my YouTube channel, what I've done on social media and like my career and the finances I make, like, actually resonate a lot with this book, mainly because I was like, okay, I'm going to do YouTube for a living. I'm going to post a video every single day. Like this last winter, I was like, I want to dominate shorts. So I didn't post one short a day or try to make one short. I did 3 a day, you know? And so it's like, I've always found success online by an ungodly amount of content, like a daily 10 to 15 minute long YouTube video was a ton of effort, but that effort has and continues to pay off, you know?
Yeah, something that I think something that he talks about in the book that I think is very powerful that a lot of people struggle with, myself included, and that's he says it takes effort to kind of like be there and not try, but also takes effort to be there and try. So you might as well be there and try. You know, like you're still going to be tired. You're still going to put in that effort. You might as well put the effort into the right thing. And I really think that resonates well with me.
No, I'm happy you brought that up because it's so true. Like it takes the same amount of effort to like mental effort to either I need to sit down and concentrate on this, or you're going to sit there and think about how you should have done that thing. And it's just going to eat you alive. At least it does with me. So it's like, I'd rather not be miserable. I'd rather just get it done type thing.
Yeah, it's, I mean, I'm excited to read the book. Like I said, I'm only in the first chapter, so we're still early on. It's not too late for you to join in on the book club, especially because we're a week behind when it comes to the upload schedule, right? So you guys technically have a week on us. So yeah, it's not too late to join the book club. And Johnathan, I assume you're already in chapter like 3, 4 at this point. I actually don't even know how many chapters.
14 or something.
Chapter 14?
I'm crushing this book.
Dang.
12, chapter 12. I'll be in 14 today. But I had the book, so from day one, I started, like, the moment we picked it, I read 10 pages that day. So, I also I want to read 12 books this year on my big old calendar. I've been writing goals and adding things, and I'm trying to make 2025 the best year of my life, guys. And so I'm actually catching up on another book, putting an X through anxiety, which I don't know where this book came from. It was just in my library. So I was like, well, I guess I'm reading this one. Because it's a smaller book. It's only a couple hundred pages. Or it's like right under 200 pages. So I was like, oh, I could read this book and the 10X at the same time. So I've actually been crushing the reading game. I've been crushing this month, honestly. But this is my, like, I can't mess around month because on June 1st, my snowboard camp starts, which I'm super excited about. We have 9 campers. So we can fit one more person in. I want that, but I also get nervous because then the camp house gets, like, pretty crowded. We've already read, but I've, like, had to get the rental house already. I had to get the rental car. I had to communicate with the ski resort and get permission to come host a camp. And now I'm working with the insurance company to get the proper insurance and credentials. And yeah, the list goes on of, like, okay, like, even though we got the rental van, we got to, like, still bring our SUV and get all the snowboard gear and, like, there's a lot to it. There's 9 people that have paid a very large amount of money to come snowboard for a week and have the best week of snowboarding of their lives, and I love delivering that week. We do it every single year, and it's the funnest, most raddest experience. And to go to Oregon and get the experience that they're going to get for the price they pay is actually a steal, but it's still a lot of money. So it's like I got to deliver the best product ever. And so, like, in order for that week to be successful, not only have I been trying to promote this for the last 2 months to get it filled up, but it takes a whole month of preparation, of not slacking, of when are we leaving Colorado to get there. Like, I got to get flights, and I just asked Ben yesterday if he could drop Roman off at the airport because Roman's going to go stay with grandma for that week, and my wife's going to come cook for the first time. So, like, there's so many moving parts, and, like, to be successful for this 1 week of my year, which is not only important for me because it helps out financially a lot, but it is a week where I get to test my skills and grow as a snowboarder because I get to coach and educate and do all these new things. And so, like, but to have this week be successful, it doesn't start that week. It starts months prior to that week. So I don't get to slack off right now.
No, it sounds like you got a busy month. It sounds like you still have a busy month ahead of you. And I just want to say, shout out to your family, dude. Shout out to Roman. Shout out to Bristol. Shout out to Bobby. Because I think a lot of people look at influencers and they're like, that's not hard. Like, they're just living the life or whatever, blah, blah, blah. But it's like, yeah, you're putting months of effort into this 1 week for your fans, really, like for them to have that opportunity to come hang out with you and snowboard with you and all that. But then it's also like, look at your family right now. So Bobby is having to be out there to cook. Bristol's got to be out there away from, like, all of her, her home feelings, right? Like, her natural habitat. She's going to be out there with you guys. Roman's got to be with his grandma, and grandma's going to be watching him. So grandma's got to deal with that. And then just small stuff where it's like, for me, I got to drive him up to Denver that day. And, like, it's crazy how much team effort goes into it. And so, like, shout out to your family for what they go through, for letting you live this life and everything. But yeah, it's crazy to see how much effort goes into this 1 week. So happy for you, bro. Happy you filled up.
I do. I'm so happy it filled up because it's just a good sign. It's a sign that things are turning around. It went from, like, I could feel like 2 weeks of this camp and it was, like, super rad. And I'd maybe love to get back to 2 weeks, but then we had this, like, dry spell of it wasn't filling up, not because of me, but because people financially, it was a little tighter. So it makes me happy to know that people are, I mean, the camp's almost $3,000, like, not everyone has a disposable 3,000 sitting around, but when the camp fills up really quick, it's like, oh, like people are doing better, and like that makes me super excited. Um, Not because my camp's filling up, but because people are doing better. Um, and then, yeah, big shout out to my family. Like, this is a family business. Like, Bobby fulfilled all of my sticker orders this year. Like, especially now that I don't have employees. You know, Roman and Bristol go snowboarding with me. Bristol went viral, by the way.
I,
I don't
I
know
I
if you saw
saw.
that.
I've got your social media up on the side. I saw that you were first. It went viral.
Um, that little girl went viral. But you know, they go snowboard with me, and they know, like, we go and just have fun. And the way I film with my children, I do not make them perform. That is not what I'm doing. Essentially, I just put the camera in 360, and it's just hovering around, and I get to capture really fun moments with my children. And um, Bristol decided to peg a lifty with a snowball. It's the funniest thing, and the most toxic comment section in the world. I guess I'm gonna say the most toxic, but it's my it's the funniest comment section to me. But essentially, it was our first run of the day. We're going with the magic carpet. Little kids, especially like 3-year-olds, you got to keep them entertained and fun, and all this type of stuff. So I like make a snowball for her when we're on that carpet, and I hand them to her, and she throws them at stuff. Well, I made her a snowball, and she just kept holding it, and I was like, "What is going?" Like, I was like, "Okay, whatever." She wants to hold the snowball, and we're getting to the top, and he's like, "Hey, can you step off? Because they don't want you to like go off the tip of the carpet if you don't have a board on. They want you to step to the side and walk off." So she tells me to do that. I knew that was coming, and then Bristol just nails her with this snowball, and it's like the cutest little thing. She probably threw it about 5 to 6 yards as well, and I was like, it shocked me. I was like, oh, I'm sorry, like, Bristol, you can't just like peg somebody. And then we go out to go do our first run of the day, and then we go down to the bottom of the run after she crushes it, and I was like, like, I was still like kind of in shock that she just pegged the lifty with a snowball, but she like threw it from far away. So I was like, Bristol, like, that was a good throw, like, because it wasn't not a good throw. She had good aim. Like, I want my kids to have a cannon. You know, we play football a lot, and so the people in the comments were like, you should have made her say sorry, discipline. You should have disciplined her. A lot of like, you should have disciplined her. And it's funny when you go viral, especially in snowboarding. The only way to go viral in snowboarding is to reach people that aren't skiing and snowboarding. Like, there are a lot of skiers and snowboarders or people that can do it, but in reality, when you go viral, you're reaching an audience that doesn't fully understand the world. And like, the last time Bristol went snowboarding, she took a lesson, and that instructor let her throw snowballs at him the entire time. So in her 3-year-old innocent little brain, snowballs are meant to be thrown at the workers. And it's funny because after she pegged her, and I was like, Bristol, you got it. You can't just throw this at people, like, whatever. She goes, Dad, it's a snowball. It's like, fair enough, Bristol. It's a snowball. But people were so mad that I didn't discipline her. But I'm like, dude, I'm just thankful she's got her snow gear on and she's in the environment. Because at 3, the whole point is like, she's not going to go out there and make turns. Like, I know she's not going to, like, I mean, unless I want to like coach her and really make her learn it. Like, I'm just like, get used to carpets. She would throw the chairlift for the first time. Like, let's just go experience stuff. So then when you do hit 5, 6, you start understanding concepts and things like that.
Yeah, I'm scrolling through the comments, and oh, they're pretty cringy. I'm not gonna lie. Most of the comments are actually people being like, "What's the big deal? It's just a snowball." Like, agreeing with like kind of what the situation. Like, just they get it. Like, it's funny. This 3-year-old just pegged this person, this completely innocent person with a snowball, and like, she's 3. She didn't do any damage, and so most people are agreeing that like they're like, it's funny, blah blah. But yeah, I scrolled down enough to where you're seeing all the Karens that are like, this should have been a teaching moment, and it's like, okay, dude, like, and the video
the
cuts
teaching
off.
moment how to snowboard.
What's also the video cuts off before you get back to the top and everything. So like it is, it is what it is.
That's what I usually reply to people. It's like, how'd you know I didn't make her say sorry? I mean, I didn't, but how do you know? It's one of those things where, I mean, it makes sense. But if you could post a video where you can have people on both sides just going at each other in the comments, you're going viral.
Dude, we talked about it. Like controversial stuff sells, and like that's just like the reality, and that's why so many people are controversial on the internet. And what's funny is like the more you hate on it, the more it just feeds into it. So the more that people are like, for like the Paul brothers, right? If you're sitting there complaining about Jake Paul going on these fights, which I know that I'm victim of that, or I should say victim, I'm guilty of that, of like of being like, I don't get why he's fighting only old people. Like I don't like the Mike Tyson fight. It was kind of cringy or whatever, but it's like the more I talk about it, the more I hate on it or whatever, the more popular it becomes. Like the bigger deal he is, right? He's doing that stuff to be controversial. He's doing that stuff to get those comments. He's getting those comments from his fans or Mike Tyson's fans. They're supporting him. And then also the people are like, this is ridiculous. Like that's all it's doing is feeding it more and more. It's just more, fuel for the fire when you're doing that stuff. So yeah, 100%. And like what we talked about almost like a month ago, maybe even longer, when we talked about you snowboarding like for 50 miles an hour, right? Or like posting that, and then you'll have two types of people in the comments that are like, that's so fast, and then the other people are like, that's not fast at all, right? You need to have a contradictory moment, or like a moment where people want to say that you're wrong, or want to say that you're cool, or want to agree with you, or want to disagree with you. That's what you need for those viral contents,
Yeah. Yeah, because like I could post like the coolest trick that I've ever done, but I'd be incorrect if I was like, oh, this video is like, this is going viral. I did a trick I've never done before. Like, that's just not going to happen unless I did a trick no one's ever done before, and it's like the wildest looking thing. It's not. I think social media has buckets. You post things for you. There's a lot of things I post for me. I did not post that Bristol video thinking it was going to go viral. I thought it was hilarious. And so I posted it. And then when I post like really cool tricks that I've never done before, like I did a switch back 50, front 360 out. So I did a whole bunch of stuff switch. And it was the first time I've ever done it. And I'm like, I'm gonna post this. Like that was cool. Like I did something new. I challenged myself, things like that. I post those for me. And then you never know truly which one's going to go viral. I technically had a video of me plugging my snowboard camp go viral. It hit like 500,000 views. Like in snowboarding, 500,000 views is like teetering viral. 1 million is definitely a viral snowboard video. Where I would argue that like 1 million can be standard views for like certain type of content or certain content creator. For me, like over 500,000 I would consider a viral video. And once again, this is different for everyone on social media. And there's just me being like, it's May 7th, I'm still snowboarding, like it's puking, tomorrow's gonna be a sick day, like do you want to come to my snowboard camp? Like it's gonna be sick. And that video like took off. Like I got a camper from it too, so
there we go. It's funny like what makes a video go viral and what doesn't and everything, because there's videos where you posted where I'm like, oh, that's a good video, and then like I look at the views, I'm like, oh, it didn't perform that well. Or there's other times where you post a video and I'm like, that did well. So it's and like same goes for myself with my own video game content of like I was posting daily for the longest time, and I would, so like I wouldn't say posted some content that I wasn't proud of, but like I'd be like, well, this is the video I have for today, and like that's the reality. And like sometimes that's okay to still post something that you're like, it may not do the best, but like, hey, it's a video for today, like that's okay. And I would do that. And sometimes those videos are the ones that would do the best for the week. So there would be the video I put a ton of effort into and like think that's going to do well, and kind of flops. Another video I don't put as much effort in, and I'm like, yeah, it's a video, and then it does well. And you just don't know. Like
You literally just said something so important, and it's gonna sound awful, but like from someone who posted daily long form videos for 6 years, and then someone who was posting, you're posting 3 shorts a day this season, period. Now I'm to two. I dialed it back just a little bit just because of the time of the year and whatnot. You are going to post filler videos. It is a reality. Now, still put in your max amount of effort, still, do your best, but at the end of the day, sometimes, like, I posted a video yesterday where I bumped the camera and I didn't realize it, but I was at Breck and the camera's more down. So I was filming basically like the bill of my hat and just my snowboard. You couldn't really see anywhere I was going. But I rode the snake run and I talked through the whole thing, and it's like out of 100%, like this was the video I was trying to make, it hit like 60%. But it was still good enough to hit the quota. Like it's a filler video. I still put it out. Someone's gonna enjoy it. But is it top tier, the best I could ever do? No. But I did try my hardest to film the best run. Like, I didn't realize there was a mistake. But at the same time, with like the long form YouTube videos, there was a video I was like, man, I really don't want to post this video. I don't like it. But I gotta get my video out for the day though. And it was a park safety video, like how to navigate through the park, or park etiquette. So like, don't side jump, don't go into landings of jumps, like scope features before you hit them, all just like how, like just terrain park etiquette. That video went super viral. I was like, what? I think it hit over 1 million views on the long form video, or close to it. No, it didn't hit over 1 million. I only have 2 videos over 1 million, but it went viral for my long form style content. And I was like, I almost didn't post that. So you never know. So post. 2, it's better to put something out than nothing out. And 3, especially with short form content, people forget. So you might be like, I don't want to post this. Post it. And then eventually, like in a week, it's like that video never ever existed.
It's worth making videos, and it's worth like putting in that effort, because the video that took my channel to the next level for me was someone's got to do video game content, and somebody asked me, all right, I posted a video where I was holding my controller. Let me grab my controller real fast. So I hold controllers in a weird way where I've got my pointer finger actually hovering over the A, B, X, and Y buttons, and it's called claw. It's a popular way of holding a controller. It's a little controversial because people are like, oh, you're gonna get arthritis, blah blah. Reality is, if you do anything with your hands, you're gonna get arthritis, so it doesn't matter. But with that, I posted a video of me doing that, and it got like 1,000 views or something, and that was good for me at the time. But then somebody asked me like, hey, can you make a tutorial on this? And I'm like, the tutorial is you just put your finger there, but okay, I'll make a video. I made this like 8-minute video on how to do that while playing Fortnite, and at the time nobody was making like Fortnite content like that, and it literally got like 300,000 views in a month, which that was massive for my channel. And it's just because somebody asked me like, hey, the most basic thing, like can you make a tutorial on that? As simple as my finger going from this position to this position. I made a video on that with some extra details and stuff, like some history and whatever, but I made a video on that, and it went viral for my channel, especially for a long form video. So, it's like just get creative with your content. Just try stuff that's new. If you're unsure about a video, that is fine. If you're unsure if it's going to do well, that is fine. But the point is to do repetition. I know I've talked about it in a previous podcast. I think it was the book Atomic Habits that talked about if people, or this professor had a group. He had a class with 2 groups. One group, he said, take as many pictures. It was a camera or photography class. He said, take as many pictures as possible, submit them to me, and I'll select your best one. And then another group, you're going to submit 1 photo at the end of the year, and it better be your best one. The best photos he found were from the group that took the most photos, because they were getting the repetition and they were getting those reps in. They were just doing it over and over and over and improving every single day. And so just by doing it, that's the first step. That's the first step of is just doing it and doing it well. Just putting in your effort. It doesn't have to be the best video every single day, but just do it, right? Just do something every single day and it'll go a long way.
So I've gotten a lot better at editing because I've edited thousands of videos. So yeah, every video you make, you get a little better. You get a little better at scripting videos. You get a little better at talking at the camera. You get a little better thinking. You get like one reason why my content did so well, my short form content did so well this summer is I was able to, my hook was to get off, like to talk at the moment I was getting off the chairlift, use my clue bindings, which I love, that are super attention getters because you just step right into the binding and people are like, what did I just see? So that was my hook. I'd get off the lift, I'd start talking, I'd step in, and then I'm riding a run while having a conversation. So turning the snowboarding that I do at a higher level than the average person by far. So I'm snowboarding at a high level while having a full-blown conversation with social media or with people, which is hard. It's hard to make turns, talk about things, and say things clearly and have a whole-blown thought-out run where I'm talking about the run all the way down. It blew people's mind, but that took years of talking to a camera, being able to like develop the muscle of thinking what I want to say next while I'm still saying what I'm currently saying while snowboarding at the same time. Like it took a while to develop that muscle, but now I could do it so fluidly and easy that a lot of those videos went viral, especially on TikTok.
Yeah, and that's what people like when people say that, people are lucky because they have a job like yours or whatever. It's like you don't realize how much effort or how much time has gone into this. It doesn't, you've learned so much by doing this as long as you have, but it like people don't see what you've learned. They've only see where you're at, right? So they don't see where you started, or they don't see the little nuances. Like you said, like everything is intentional. You just like the strategy of you filming as soon as you get off the chairlift, like that is a strategy that took time for you to figure out that works. Or it took you time and energy and skill to get sponsored by Clue Bindings, and that helps you with your videos. And it wasn't luck, it was you putting in that effort for years ahead of time to get to where you're at. And same thing with like the editing, or even that video of Bristol that went viral, that's your daughter. It's not like you just had this child with you that did that. It's like, this is your daughter. You've had her for 3 years and you've taught her how to snowboard and you've raised her and everything. Like, there's everything you do is intentional. And it's funny that like people will look at that and just say that you're a lucky person. It's like, you don't get it. You don't get it.
Well, and so this year I've become more known than ever before. Obviously, I've had more viral videos this year than ever before. I've on Instagram and TikTok, like I've had an Instagram video hit like 26 million views. I have had, I want to say at least 20 TikToks break like 3 million plus. Like I've gotten viewed a lot. I definitely get noticed more. Like does that make sense? Like I'm more known now because I used, instead of YouTube, I used the more popular apps, Instagram and TikTok, and still I posted on YouTube, but the notoriety or whatever definitely like leveled up. And so I'll get on channels and people are like, yo, I love your videos, like I've been watching them, everything like that. Like, is this your job? And I'm like, how do in my first response is like, how do you not know this is my, I've been doing this for this is my 7th winter doing this for a living. But to so many people, this is their second, third year, first year watching my content. They're watching it heavily now, but they don't know. Does that make sense? And so, like you're saying, like to a lot of people, they just see it like, oh, this guy just started this, and like he's so lucky. It's like, oh, this has been almost a decade in the making. Like I've been putting a lot of work into this.
Yeah, I think that, like, I know what you're saying. I do know what you're saying. You're not meaning this in an ill will way. You're not like, how do you not know? But it's like, yeah, like to you, you've been grinding for years now, but to your new fans, they're just now discovering you, so like it's completely foreign to them, right? And the other thing is, like, I don't vet the people I follow. It's not like I click on a YouTube channel and I'm like, oh, when did this guy first upload and how long has he been doing that? Like, I don't.
What was his first video?
Yeah, like I don't vet the people I follow. It's more so like, oh, I like this person's content, follow, and I very rarely like scroll past maybe the last like month of uploads, if that. Like, to be honest, I pretty much never follow new people. Sorry, but that's just the type of person I am. But anyways, for for them, like, ignorance, arrogance, whatever, like they just don't know. So like it is what it is. And I know that you're not like upset with them or anything, but no, I'd have people that come in to like a live stream of mine, and I've got 2 people in the live stream, and they're like, so do you do this as a full-time job? And just like, some people just, it's a foreign concept to them. They don't understand it at all. So it is what it is. But yeah, it's like the people that do call you lucky, or like that hate on you because they're like, all he's doing is going down a run and talking. It's like, no, there's so much more to this than just that. There's strategy, there's also just, you've put in the years to be as good as you are, and the years to be able to talk as well as you do, and to know what to say and everything. So yeah, like, I'm proud of you, bro. You're killing it, and you're always innovating with your stuff, and I'm happy that you find new strategies that work well with you, such as your daughter throwing a snowball at an innocent bystander. So
Bristol's gonna start just pegging people. That's the new strategy. Just get Bristol to nail
random
individuals.
Dude, based off those parents, they assume that that's all that's gonna happen because you didn't discipline her on camera.
Because I didn't discipline her, she's now gonna just pure accuracy, just start taking people out. What did I want to say? I was gonna say the culture has shifted. So once again, me and Ben were the first to ever make snowboard vlogs on YouTube. Arguably, I was one of the first, if not the first. There's 2 guys making content prior to me making my content, but like, I was one of the first snowboard influencers, and I got hate. So much hate. I was still getting hate. I mean, even to this day, I still get hate. But the culture around snowboard content creators has fully shifted. And I think what happened specifically this year more than ever, a lot of the cool kids, the cool ones, started trying to make content, or started doing it. And it's one of those things where, like, luck. Oh, I got lucky because I was one of the first to do it. But once again, we always say, or the saying, like, luck only happens when hard work meets preparation. You can get lucky, or you got to be prepared to get lucky. So we put in the work and did everything at the right time. We can't control when the time is the right time, but so now there's this whole new generation that are trying to do snowboard social media. There's never been more people making content around skiing and snowboarding. And now I get this like in person from like a lot of the core snowboarder kids, or the kids in the park, or the young, and it's more like I'm so much more. The best way to put it is just respect. People come to me, they're like, respect, essentially, because they've seen what I've created and how long I've been doing it. Once again, some people, they think it's brand new, but overall, like, my hate on the mountain almost fully disappeared this year, where I would like go on the mountain and people would film me and be like, look at this clown, he thinks he's a pro snowboarder, or they'd be like, Buckhouse, you suck, or like literally like saying F you, Buckhouse. Like, in person, I've gotten tons of hate. I've gotten none of it this year. It's all been like, respect, what you're doing is cool, like, this is awesome. Like, just like, it almost became not cool to hate on social media influencers now in snowboarding. It's wild.
Small thing, I am holding up my water bottle that has the sticker saying make your own luck. We do have merch, link down below. This is one of the lines that we have of make your own luck, because like Johnathan was saying, luck is when preparation meets opportunity. So As long as you're prepared and you're putting yourself in the situations to get those opportunities, you can have those quote unquote lucky moments that people talk about, right? For Johnathan and I do think about it often where it's like, I did have the idea, like I'm not taking a note there. I'm about to compliment you, bro. So just hear me out with it. Where it's like, I did have the idea of starting the YouTube channel of snowboarding and vlogging at the same time. And at the beginning, Jonathan was a little bit on the fence. And he started doing more research, and he's like, "This is interesting." But Johnathan put in the time and the effort to film and edit the videos every single night. We were working a full-time job, and Johnathan was a husband and then also became a father shortly after we started this, of him just going and like, like I said, working every single day, going to the mountain every single day, filming every single day, and editing every single day. It was like, I could say from the secondhand experience, it was exhausting for him, but he still put in that work. And so many people are like, he's lucky, blah, blah, blah. They're not willing to put in that work. So they will never know what it's like to get lucky like that. Like, it's, yeah. And I'm happy for you, bro, that the hate kind of dissipated this year.
Hopefully it stays that way. I've had a long stretch of being hated, so I'm ready for a good, nice stretch of some just like, "Hi, Buckhouse."
I was earlier when we were talking about like controversial videos to post and stuff, and like, I wouldn't recommend this to begin with, but especially now that you went from being hated to like not being hated, I would really not recommend this. But it's like another way, like just the way that my brain works is like, you could make a video where you claim to do a trick and do a completely different trick, and like that would go viral because you got so many people being like, "Oh, that's,
I love my front board," and it's a backboard.
Yeah, or just say, yeah, like something like that. But it's like, you get so many people that like don't know, but so they're just like, they're watching and they're like, "Oh, okay, that was a cool trick," or whatever. And then you got the core community or people that actually know what's going on, and they would be like, "What do you mean a front board? That was a backboard," and like getting so mad at you in the comments and everything like that. I wouldn't recommend it because that would, oh, dude, you would get destroyed for that.
If I'm really struggling for views, maybe I'll try it.
But yeah, but like, that's the type of content that you can make to that could go semi-viral. I don't think that particular video is going to get 12 million views or anything, but like a 500,000 view video or whatever. But I'm happy that you're not getting that hate anymore, bro, because I know that that as much as you're able to block out haters, whatever, it still is there. It's not fun to be surrounded by negativity and people throwing stuff at you, so.
I mean, it's impossible to not have the intrusive thoughts or the whatever. Like with the Bristol video, all the people are like, "She's a brat." Like, dude, what? You just call my daughter, like, that's my princess. Like, that's my, that little girl's my world. You're going to just come in my comments all casual and call her a brat? Like, you don't know her. It's like, and that's just one example. If people come in, they'd be like, "This dude's a snake, this, that, blah, blah, blah." And you're just like, "See, what?" Like, I've taught more people how to snowboard than the majority of people in the history of this sport, because I make content on how for people to get better at snowboarding. It's like the number one thing that someone says to me. They come up and they go, "You taught me how to snowboard." Like that is such a rad thing to be giving back to snowboarding. Then you're going to come in my comments and tell me that I'm taking away from snowboarding. Like, as much as that stuff doesn't bug me and I can, compartmentalize it and put it to the side and all that type of stuff, like, there are moments where you're like, "What?" But then also it's kind of fuel to the fire. And then it's like, "I'll prove you. I'll show you. Bring it on." Back to the luck thing real quick. Because, luck is when preparation means opportunity. Sometimes you might not be prepared, but that opportunity showed up. And now it's time for you to frickin' grind or hustle or put in the 10x effort when you found that opportunity.
100%. And I think that you could also categorize that as the clutch gene, or just being clutch, right? It's like, people talk about that when it comes to sports, especially sports like basketball or sometimes football, and of course like hockey or baseball, and any sport is applicable to this. But like with basketball, with like Michael Jordan or Kobe, or can LeBron do this? Can they clutch a game? Like if it's 5 seconds left and they're down by three? Can they hit a 3-pointer to tie up the game in those 5 seconds or whatever? And it's the people that do well under pressure, and the people that are confident in themselves and their ability and go for it, that make those opportunities happen. And that's, once again, people claim it to be luck, but if you're consistently doing that, there's nothing lucky about it. It's your clutch. You're figuring it out. You're killing it. You're confident. You're so confident in yourself. You're so confident in your ability, and you are putting in the work. You're putting in that 10x work, just like Johnathan was saying, that you show out. You show up and you take over. That's your time to shine. So it's also that clutch factor, I think.
Yeah, I don't know where it comes from, but I do feel like I've always had a clutch factor, like what needs to get done, or like I definitely snowboard better when the camera's on and the pressure's on. Like let's turn it up. Like let's go get this done. So like I don't know what or how to develop the clutch factor, but always in my mind, it's like I want the pressure on me. I want to be the person that's leading the group or leading the project, or what are we doing? Like I hate sitting in the sideline or not being able to make the decisions. Like I love it. I love it. I love when it's time to, pressure's on, let's go.
So from everything I've learned about it, it's some of it is, I don't want to say natural, but really what it is being clutch, or being that person in that moment that does well under pressure and everything. It really, really comes down to confidence. It like really comes down to confidence. If you are confident in yourself, if you are 100% believing in yourself that you're able to accomplish something, there's nothing that can stop you. And this may sound cliche and dumb, but like it's the real deal. Like it's just, are you confident in yourself? I've pushed it in the past, and I'll push it more here soon. But like the Michael Jordan documentary on Netflix, if you guys are into that type of stuff, it's a phenomenal story. I don't like basketball. I don't watch basketball. I never enjoyed playing it. I've never been a big fan of it, so I don't really care about basketball. But I watched the Michael Jordan documentary, and it's an incredible story, and it's very motivating, and it's very real. But Michael Jordan is that clutch guy. He is the clutch factor, and it was just, he knew that he was the one that was going to go for the game-winning shot. He knew that. He didn't want to give his teammates a chance to mess up, because he's like, if I give you that chance, you're going to mess it up. If I give me the chance, I'm not going to mess it up. He was that confident in himself. Same with like Kobe Bryant and those other GOATs out there that are like that. Tom Brady, he wasn't going to put anyone else on the line other than himself to be like, I'm going to win this football game. Right? So it comes down to confidence. It really does. That's like the number one thing. So what I was going to say earlier is about natural, like it comes natural to some people. Some people have a more naturally confident personality type. Some people like naturally struggle with confidence more and everything like that. But that's something that you can overcome. It really is. It's not, like there are people that struggle with that clutch factor in their careers of basketball or sports or whatever it may be. But if like they will have their moments because they are confident in themselves in it. So you can overcome it. You can become clutch, but that's really what it comes down to, is confidence. And at the moment that you lack confidence, everything crumbles.
And confidence is a muscle that you can build, like absolutely can build. I would, just to tell a quick little story, or like how I became a more confident individual, is I didn't go to a school from the first grade to the ninth grade. My mom homeschooled me. She put me in these weird homeschool programs, stuff like that. But like I did not go to a school till the ninth grade. So as a freshman was my first time going to school. And so I went to a school that my older brother Tyler, was going to for 2 years. He actually got to go to school. And he had a high level of confidence, and we went to a smaller school, so like he was popular, he was good at the sports. Like my brother had confidence, and I wanted to be like my older brother. And so I'd go to school, and every first day of the school year he would go to Goodwill and buy a goofy outfit and wear it to school, not because like that's what the school asked people to do, it's just what he did because he had confidence. And so I would follow and tag along off of my brother's confidence. And so, dress up goofy, and like it's hard to have confidence when you look stupid, but you got to pretend like you have confidence in the stupid outfit that you're wearing. And then there would be other instances, or just like with the sports, like I wanted to be good at football, wasn't that good. I didn't have big confidence in my football ability, but my brother was the better football player. So I would kind of piggy bank off of his confidence. And you might not have a brother, but you could have a friend. But by putting yourself in uncomfortable situations and stretching yourself and trying to grow, and realizing like, oh, like this was actually a really fun day at school, me looking super stupid, it gave me more confidence for then when my brother stopped going to school. I was just like, all right, we're doing it. It's the first day of school. We gotta look really stupid. Like, and it would get my friends to tag along off my confidence into dressing up really weird and whatnot. So, if you don't have an older brother or someone like that to look up to, maybe you have a friend, or just try it. But it's a muscle. Like, confidence is a muscle. The more you put yourselves into situations to stretch and grow and to be uncomfortable, and then realize like, hey, that was okay. Like I'm alive still. Like that was tough. You get confidence. And so like same thing with snowboarding. Like the more I snowboard a line that I'm not confident in, and I realize, oh, I survived that line. I'm now more confident to get into another one and try it again and things like that.
I think I kind of had a realization while you were telling that whole like snippet, bro, because I think that was very powerful. I think that you're very accurate with what you were saying, and like, shout out to Tyler. I know that Tyler's helped me with some confidence as well, so shout out our older brother. Links to his social media down below. But for like the realization I had, bro, is like confidence can come with you just saying yes. There is power in the word yes. It naturally is a more agreeable thing. Like it's a more positive. If you were to compare the words yes and no, yes is a more positive and agreeable and lightning like word, versus no. No is associated with like kind of the opposite of like not bad, but like negative, right? And so just by you saying yes to something, like if your friends are like, hey, do you want to go to the Goodwill and get a crazy outfit for the first day of school? If you say no, you naturally kind of like turtle up and are kind of like shy and insecure. Like you're saying like, no, like I don't really want to do that. But if you just instead say yes, you may not want to do that. But just by you saying yes, like it gives you a little bit more confidence to be like, I'm just going to go do this and I'm going to have fun with my friends. And like, that's what you're going to do. Now don't.
And you can piggy bank off your friends' confidence.
Exactly. But it's like, if your friends are like, hey, do you want to go, but if you're work, I know we got an older audience, so let's say it like this, like if your colleagues at work are like, hey, do you want to go to the bar after work or whatever, be careful with this one, but it's like, yeah, just go do it, just go hang out, and you could stay for as long as you're comfortable for or whatever, but just by you saying yes and being in that environment and hanging out with people, they're going to want to welcome you, they're going to want you to feel comfortable, right? So just by saying yes, you're automatically going to be more confident. But also, don't fall into peer pressure if they're trying to push you into drinking too much and you still have to drive home. Don't be stupid about it. Don't fall into peer pressure. Be responsible. But
I think a better example for that one is like if your work's doing a costume day at work, like join in on the fun activities. Like your work's doing a after work 10-minute thing, or your work's like, hey, we're gonna do a book club. And you're like, I don't really read. I'm like, I don't have confidence in my reading or anything like that, but it's like, we'll try it. Like, you're gonna build the confidence by doing these things. There's also, you can build confidence by saying no at the same time. Someone's like, hey, like we should go to the bar, and you're trying to better yourself, you can be like, no, or like, I know I didn't drink until I turned 21. I had plenty of opportunities to drink before I turned 21, but I would tell people no. Like there is a way to build confidence also by saying no. But I get what you're saying. Like, take opportunities for fun things that could help you build confidence by saying yes.
sorry you didn't like my example, bro. I was just trying to reach our audience.
Everybody go to the bar.
No, I don't think that a lot of our audiences are getting asked to dress up to go to work. No, I'm joking. But no, those are, yeah, like exactly. It's just like by being confident in yourself, by saying yes or no to something, right? And the more yeses you say, like just saying yes to like the why nots, right? Like Johnathan was saying, you know, it's crazy hair day at work. Why not? Why not just put your hair in a crazy style just to go to work or whatever, right? Like, why not do it? But then also being like trying to better yourself, like Johnathan was saying, of saying like no to going to the bar. If that's actually a problem, if your colleagues are always asking you to go to the bar, you can be confident in saying like, hey, no, guys, I'm sorry, but actually I'm going to pass this time. And they're going to call you a straight edge. They're going to call you blah, 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 whatever. But by you being confident in that and standing your ground, yeah, that builds that confidence in just saying like, hey, no, guys, I'm good, but thank you for the invite, right? Like, and the people will respect you for that. People respect people for bettering themselves. Sometimes they call it cheesy or whatever, but when they see that you really are looking to better yourself, especially as you get older in life, people respect that. And people are like, I wish I could do that. You know, some people are like, I wish I had that discipline, or I wish I could say no. I know that when I didn't drink for a year, so many people were like, oh, you're a better man than me. I could never not drink for a year. Like, that's crazy, dude, blah, blah. And really, it was just me saying no. Like, that's all I did. I just said no. And that's all it took.
And then I'm sure it gave you confidence knowing that, like, hey, if I want to, I can stop this. I don't have to do this. I'm choosing to do this.
Yeah, 100%. And no, I think that like you're saying, there's confidence in saying yes, and there's confidence in saying no. But yeah, that clutch factor, just be confident in yourself. And that's it's a muscle, like Jonathan's saying. It's not as, it doesn't come as easily to other people as others, right? And another thing I've seen is like, and this is an insecurity for a lot of people, but like just by you working out, I've seen plenty of videos where, or in my own testimony of like people that were generally not as confident, and then they start going to the gym and they start bettering their physique and they start bettering their lives, and they going like just doing that action builds confidence. It builds confidence in yourself. If you are a little insecure, get a Planet Fitness membership. Number one, it's one of the cheapest around. They're all over the nation, but also it's literally they push a judgment-free zone. You're gonna constantly feel like you're judged. That's just a reality. But guess what? Everyone feels like they're being judged. No one is actually judging you. Everyone feels the same way you do. If you feel like you're being judged, guess what? The person next to you also feels like they're being judged. No one is judging each other though. It's funny how it works. Everyone is just worried about being judged. It's weird. But anyways, by you going to the gym, by you bettering your physique, it will exponentially help with your confidence.
I mean, I've experienced that from firsthand because I'm sitting about 20 pounds lighter than I was when I was, because, you know, I was building this YouTube channel. I was having children. I put my head down grinding. I was not eating healthy. I'd wake up at 3 a.m. and I would like be so exhausted. The only thing that would keep me awake is eating Pop-Tarts and pretzels and like anything I could find to like try to stay awake. And so I put on a lot of weight, and I started getting comments like, if you would lose some weight, you probably snowboard better, and like all kinds of stuff. I was very self-conscious of my weight, and I had lacked confidence because I knew I could do better. And now that I've lost that weight, even still though I'm still a little heavier right now going into the summer after a long winter of going back to just being me, but like still, you know, I have more confidence when I feel like when I'm working out or I'm doing things that are healthier for my body. And, you know, the fact that I have lost weight, and, you know, last year I did 75 hard, and at the end of 75 hard, I had tons of confidence. I was like, dude, I'm looking good. Let's go. And so that might be a longer journey for you or for people out there, but there's also confidence in knowing that like you're making right decisions for your health and your family, and to be here on this earth longer. Like that stuff gives you confidence for sure.
I want to talk briefly, kind of to wrap up this podcast, on the opposing side of that. So, you know, this doesn't apply to everybody because it kind of requires a like significant other, or I wouldn't even necessarily say it doesn't actually apply to everybody, because you've got somebody in your life that you can do this for. But if you see that somebody is making changes, hype them up. Be their hype man. Talk them up. Talk about just spread positivity. Just compliment them, or recognize them. Just be like, hey, I see that you're putting in this work and it's showing. And I just want to say you're doing great and I really appreciate it. That gives somebody confidence. Just by you saying that, like to a friend, to a spouse, to a family member, by you just saying like, hey, I see you and you're doing a good job, that goes a long way for them. So even if you're struggling with confidence, this can help you kind of like be confident by just complimenting somebody, by just being like, normally I wouldn't say this, but hey, I'm just going to say yes. And I'm just going to spread some positivity in this moment. That gives you a little bit of confidence. But being on the receiving end of that is incredible. And the more open you are and like the more you're supporting this other person, they're going to support you back, right? At work, for me, we have like little shout out cards, call them cheesy or whatever, but they really do work, especially in the field that I'm in of ABA therapy, which is for kids with autism. It's a tough field, and a lot of people, it's got a high turnover rate for employees. People come in and they struggle because these kids are crying as they're, this person's like messing up or whatever. Like they just don't feel confident in themselves or whatever. Just by writing a note to them, like indiscreet or whatever, that's just like, hey, you're doing great. Like this isn't easy. It's not meant to be easy, and you're in the right place. Just give it some time and keep doing what you're doing. You're gonna get there. Like just by sending that note or whatever, I can see a visual difference in that person the next day at work when they read that or whatever, right? So like just sharing that sharing positivity goes a long way with giving confidence and receiving confidence. So
Absolutely. At Target, when I first started working there, they had these things called vibe cards, and same thing. You would just like write like, "Hey, I saw you help out with this guest, and you did an incredible job. Like, I noticed you." And so yeah, like that could be a challenge for this week's episode is go give someone a compliment, man. Like it is fun to stoke people out. I know I like to say it on this podcast, but like Ben edits all the episodes. Ben makes sure they gets out. He makes the thumbnails. Like Ben puts in the work for this podcast and he kills it. And I'm very thankful for him because it's the only reason why I have a podcast and I can share it with you guys or with my audience on my YouTube channel, because he is putting in hard work and doing it. I just show up once a week and I'm just like, all right, let's start talking. You know, he's grinding. He's putting in the work.
thanks, bro. Thanks, bro. But yeah, I mean something I've pushed myself out of my comfort zone a little bit where I'll just compliment somebody at work, right? I'll be quite honest about this. There's somebody at work that I do not enjoy. Like I don't like this person. They're not a bad person. I just don't necessarily vibe with them, and like it is what it is. It is what it is. They've got like a personality type that's very extra and everything like that, and that's not who I am. So I just don't vibe with this person. It is what it is. But the other day I was praying. I'm a religious man, so like I was praying and I was just trying to ask God for to be more thankful. Like for me, like I need to be more thankful, and when I believe or when I think about praying, I think of that God will give me an opportunity for that. And this person and I were just in the lobby and it was quiet, and I just wanted, like I just said, hey, I appreciate the energy that you bring into work, right? I appreciate the energy because although I may not, like that may not be true, I'm not necessarily like lying to them. They bring, like so many other people appreciate their energy, and I see that, and I do appreciate that. I appreciate when somebody brings in a positive energy. Sure, I may not really vibe with this person, but that doesn't mean that they're not bringing good into this world. It doesn't mean that they're not being a good person. And so I went out of my comfort zone and I said, hey, I appreciate you for who you are and the energy that you bring. And it like lit up their face. They loved it. They thought it was the best thing ever. And so, just it took confidence from me that I was like, I'm confident in pushing myself out of the comfort zone to tell this person that. But it was a long way. And I just think that there's so much negativity in this world that we need to spread some positivity. So yeah, I agree. Let's challenge you guys. Tell somebody this week that they are killing it. Just tell us one person this week that they're killing it, and tell us about it in the comment section down below, because we'd love to hear your stories.
That's a great story, bro. Like I really absolutely love that story that you just told. And it's one of those things where you found an individual that you're like, man, I don't enjoy this person. And that is a reality. There are people in this world you just don't vibe with. They're just not your people. That's okay. but you found something about them that you did enjoy, or that you were able to give them a compliment on. And you know this about me, bro, but like I have learned to like every type of person, and to be able to hang out or spend time or be around every type of individual. I think I equate that a lot to going to a small school, and I graduated a class of 6 people, so I didn't get to pick who I was going to school with. My classmates were my classmates, and I had to find what I liked about each one of them, and then I could relate to them off of what I liked about them. And so by finding that, okay, I really enjoy that you do bring an energy to the workplace that makes other people happier, which makes my day more enjoyable because everyone's in a better mood because you brought a better energy. Instead of just focusing on the thing that you don't enjoy about that person, which is going to make your day at work way worse because you're just like, this person, this person. Instead of being like, oh, like everyone's in a good mood, like this is awesome. And try to focus on the good part of that person as opposed to the bad part of that person. Because people can't change who they like. I mean, you know, everyone can always change or like whatever, but like at the end of the day, like you're not going to change that person. That person is who they are. So learn to like what they do bring.
100%. I think this was a phenomenal note to end the podcast on. Just spreading positivity. I think it's great. And you're right, bro. Like there's gonna be people that you don't see in this world, but just try to find something that you do appreciate about them, or try to see the good in people, right? I know that this person doesn't mean ill will towards me at all. It's not their fault that I don't like them, right? But just finding the positives in people, and just finding the good in people, and you will find something. There's more good in this world than there isn't. You just gotta open your eyes and look at it. So I do like that challenge. I would love to hear about your guys' stories down in the comment section down below. Just let us know kind of what moment did you have a happy moment of just sharing positivity. Let us know about it down in the comment section below. But
also, let us know if you got the book.
Yeah.
If you're enjoying the book, what's your favorite part of? And if you don't know, we're reading the 10X Rule by Grant Cardone. It's linked in the description, and those are affiliate links as well as the merchandise is down there. All that stuff's going to Ben, because hopefully one day Ben can stop working a job and just do this, and then we can maybe do more in-person podcasts and stuff. But we're reading 10X Rule. Max amount of effort into the things that you want as a quick little whatever. So like, rate the things that you enjoyed about the book, things about the podcast, your stories. How do you build confidence? Are you lacking confidence? We talked about a lot of rad topics, I think, in this episode for sure. And I'd love to start having more conversations in the comments, but also like, I'd love for you guys to ask questions and then we could touch on them. People have asked questions and they've literally led whole talking points on the podcast. So feel free to blow us up with some questions.
People have also said things I completely disagree with. Also do that, because I would love to disagree with you.
Don't disagree with us.
No, but seriously, just be a part of the conversation down below. It goes a long way. But bro, episode 56 in the books. We did it. Another great episode. Thank you guys. 56. So thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for being a part of the conversation. Thank you guys for being you. Thank you guys for spreading positivity. Thank you guys for being here. Jonathan, thank you for being you. Benjamin, thank you for being Benjamin. Got anything else to say, bro?
Peace.
Peace.